We're really trying to figure out ways to level the playing field in terms of opportunities so that everybody everywhere really does feel like they have a shot at the American dream. And right now, if you look at where investment goes, where venture capital goes, it's really to the few folks on the coast. Last year, 75% of venture capital went to just 3 states, California, New York, and Massachusetts. So the other 47 states fight over 25%. And so we're doing a lot of things with our Rise the Rest initiative to try to get more venture capital in the hands of more of the entrepreneurs in Ohio and Pennsylvania and Michigan and other parts of the country. And opportunity zones really could be a game changer because it's really saying to investors who haven't really been paying attention to a lot of the opportunities in the middle of the country that maybe now's the time to invest in these communities. And exactly how it works and how it plays out, it's still hard to say because it's early. The law just passed fairly recently. The rules are still being written. But we really do believe opportunity zones can really help level the playing field and get more investment capital that's sitting on the coast, investing in the communities in the middle of the country. And some of those investments will lead to some of the breakout companies that create hundreds, maybe thousands of jobs and really lift up those communities. The whole interest in the Rise the Rest goes back a little bit to the early days of AOL. We started AOL over 3 decades ago outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia. In that first wave of the internet, just getting everybody online, we were in the D.C. area. Companies like Dell were in Austin. Microsoft actually started in Albuquerque before moving to Seattle. IBM's PC operations were in Boca Raton, Florida. Sprint, the communications company, was in Kansas City. That first wave of the internet was regionally dispersed. It's really only the last 15 or 20 years, the second wave of the internet, apps and services being built on top of the internet, where Silicon Valley rose to prominence, really dominance. We think in this third wave of the internet, when the internet really starts impacting healthcare and education and food and agriculture, that's where it's going to shift again, and there'll be a lot of opportunities regionally, but only if the venture capitalists on the coast pay attention to the entrepreneurs in the middle of the country. So that led to this Rise of the Rest initiative we launched about 5 years ago. We've done 7 road trips across the country, we've visited 38 cities. So we're just trying to tell their stories. We invest in those companies. We try to get other investors to pay attention and join us in investing in those companies. And I think people will be surprised over the next decade as the rest rise and some of the breakout successes of the third wave of the internet won't be on the coast, they will be in the middle of the country. The Opportunity Zone legislation hopefully will result in investors paying attention to these cities, investing in these cities, partly buying buildings that can then be reconverted to be supportive of startups, co-working space, accelerators, apartments, office space, things like that, but also back some of the startups themselves, and that could result in lifting up those neighborhoods and lifting up those communities. And 250 years ago, America itself was just a startup. It was just an idea, and frankly, a pretty fragile idea. Now it's the leader of the free world because we created this sense of possibility, this sense of momentum, this sense of upward mobility, and we need to continue to do that. We need to make sure everybody today, just as the people 50 years ago or 100 years ago or 250 years ago, had that sense of possibility. We're given that opportunity.